What up, YouTube? Today, I'd like to try something a little bit different. I like to watch these videos, e.d.c videos, just out of naturalistic observation and curiosity to see what people have in their pockets and the reasons why. And so today, I figured I would show you all what I carry on my person every single day and tell you the reason that I carry these items. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright. Show you my belt. I normally carry a bunch of bullshit on my belt. See, got this and this. I got shit sticking out of my pockets. A magazine holder. Carry a tether. Another tether here. Chain. See? So it just looks like this every single day. On my shorts, I usually have a bandana sticking out. I always carry a bandana. Now, I'm going to take it all off and then give you the breakdown of what it is and why I carry it. Alright, so here's everything laid out. First of all, I guess I'll start with my hats. Everyone sees me in every video. I never go without a hat. I hate not wearing a hat, even though I got a full luxurious head of hair. I usually wear e.d.c hats. I have one in almost every single color for just to match whatever shirt I'm wearing that day. Also, if you notice, I'm always wearing cargo pants. I love cargo pants. I carry a lot of bullshit on me, as you can see, and I like to have plenty of space and ways to carry everything. Okay, so let's get started. I'm sure that you normally see me wearing my chains. I have a gold set of jewelry, also a different type of link. This is these are all Cuban link. These are all sterling silver. I got them all off of Amazon. They're all 100% silver sterling. And they're pretty expensive for most people's taste, but however, I feel naked without a necklace on. I have a big gold chain and bracelets and all that too, but gold is very soft, and every few years I have to replace it. But I also really love silver, and what I love about silver is it's way tougher metal than gold. I don't have to repair it as often. Every once in a while I just take off the tarnish. If you sweat on it a little bit, it'll tarnish it, but it still looks good even when tarnished, I think. And it weighs a whole lot more, and I love that weight around my neck and stuff. I don't wear any rings. I like bracelets and necklaces. My gold set weighs just under 3 ounces, and my silver set weighs just under a pound. So you obviously can get a silver set for way cheaper than a gold set. This one was like $100. This thicker Cuban link 30-inch necklace was $200, and this really thick Cuban link necklace was $400. So it's pretty expensive, but relatively cheap when it comes to gold. My 3-ounce set, 3 ounces of gold nowadays market is what, $6,000. So it's a lot more inexpensive than gold, even though it is pretty expensive. I usually just wear a regular belt. I have many different types, but I always go back to these just leather. I love the ones with the 2 holes, and the holes every, inch and a half. It changes with my weight fluctuating all the time, and they're, real comfortable. I prefer the leather. It's nice. I already showed, but I always carry a bandana. I have tons of different types, but, a lot of times I'll wear black and white ones because them's my colors that I rock. The wallet that I carry, I have several wallets, but for a long time now I've just been going with the simplest one possible because, let's face it, all we ever do is carry just a little bit of cash and, just a couple of cards, right? And keep it on this lanyard here. Of course, it's Adidas. And I carry just a couple of keys right hooked onto my wallet with one of these little locking S-Beaners. And my wallet here is, I guess it's called Lewis and Clark. It's extremely lightweight, even has a pocket clip for extra security so it can't fall out of my pocket. And, just the only other thing is in here I keep a set of headphones, the retractable type of headphones, because I like to have a set of headphones on me. You never know when you're going to need them, but I hate to want them and not have them, so I usually carry a set of headphones on me. And that's that. And so I usually wear one of three types of watch. I have 3 watches, and I usually wear one of them at all times. I don't like to not have a watch. I have 2 digital and 1 analog. I have Adidas one. Adidas and Puma, if you haven't figured it out, are my favorite brands. I have this Adidas watch. Everyone in my family, I bought them one of these watches in different colors. But I'll either wear this Adidas, this Puma watch right here, really nice. A friend of mine got that for me. Thank you very much, bud. And this watch here is just what's it called? A G-Shock. It's really nice. What I like about it is this resets its time by satellite, so you never actually have to set the time. And also, it runs on solar power. And so you never have to set the time. You never have to worry about batteries or anything like that. As long as this face is picking up a little bit of light, this will charge forever. And since the sun's going to be around for a few more tens of billions of years, I think we're pretty good on that. Now, I carry with me usually some type of notepad and pen and whatnot. And for the last few months, I've been carrying this. It's called a Jackson Wayne. It's like really awesome leather. And I carry a few different notebooks in here. One just for ideas and whatnot. One for YouTube ideas and one for YouTube ideas and notes. When I think of a idea for a video, I write notes in here until I make the video. And then I move on from there. I just carry a regular pen in there, and I keep it all rubber banded like so, and I put that in one of my cargo pockets on my leg, and I hardly notice it's there. I'm going to save the juiciest stuff till the end. I carry another S-Beaner on a little it's like a belt loop that you can take off and put on even without removing your belt. Almost everything that I carry on my belt is removable without taking my belt off. Just like this pouch here, it has a little molly strapping on the back, which you can take off. That way you don't have to take off your belt, because it's a pain in the ass to get through your loops to take it off. So I carry this. This has several uses. Sometimes I'll carry a knife with it's I forget what it's called. It's a leg drop, I think it's called. And so I'll just take I'll show you here. If I have a certain knife that I want to carry, you can just take it, and you saw how this was on my belt. And then you just take the case. It has a little loop on the back, and you hook it on like that. And now you have what's called a drop leg harness. You can also attach keys or all sorts of other things to this S-Beaner. I use it for all sorts of stuff all the time, and I never even notice it's there. So I think it's a really great means of attaching stuff to me when I need to fast and quickly retrieve it. So in this pouch here with the little tethered lanyard, I've got another little S-Beaner on the end there. And this is a Leatherman pouch here. And inside I've got a couple of different things, as you can see. The first thing, and the reason that I keep this tethered to me is so that I could never lose it, right? Because it's important. And many times when I need a flashlight, you might need to put it down real quick, and this way, or if it ever gets knocked out, I have no way of losing this now. And this is Meritac 3, I believe it's called. You can get these in chrome or silver like I have it, black or brass. You should check this place out. It comes from CountyCom. Really great little, this is all made for military, everything at CountyCom. And it runs on one AAA battery, and it's got two different modes. There are some newer ones. I bought one for every member of my family. And what I really love is it runs on AAAs. I believe that if you're going to carry stuff on you, and you're worried about the apocalypse or whatever it is, you should always carry a AAA device, because in the apocalypse, there's going to be AAA batteries in every remote control in every home across the world. So AAAs will be the most abundant battery. And this one here, on its weakest setting, it can go 118 hours on that one AAA. You could read by it. You can, it's just enough light to see by. And on its more powerful setting, it's not made for tons of power. This is made for tons of efficiency. But on its other setting, I think it lasts something like 40 or 80 hours. So with one AAA, you just get absolute ton of artificial light. And I think that's really important when you're talking about efficiency, that you get, that high level. Another thing I carry here is just a little pen. What's this called? It's a little Zebra. I don't remember the model number, but it's just this tiny little pen here, and you just draw it like this. Then you've got just a efficient little pen. I got little refills for this that I carry in a bag. I also carry a little bag with me a lot of times, and maybe I'll show that in another video. But for right now, I just want to deal with what I carry on my person. So I like to have a backup pen. Like I showed earlier, I already carry at least one full-size regular pen right there. But I have not had this notebook on me, and I have needed a pen, and this has come in handy tons and tons of times. And then the last thing in this pouch is my Leatherman Charge. I've had tons of different multi-tools, and I've had tons of even different Leathermans. I've bought them for every member of my family. But I really love the Leatherman Charge. I've carried it for years. I've seen some really awesome improvements in new multi-tools, and I consider a lot of times getting a new one, but for the type of stuff that I do, I don't know, man. I've just used this one for so long, and I really love it. It also has a clip on there. I really like to have items with clips, because many times you take it out of its thing, but you stick it in your pocket for a second. I'll clip it on then, Just gives you another carrying option. Doesn't really weigh anything extra. This I had to buy separately and put it on here. What I really love about this Leatherman is it has surgical steel razor sharp blades. You can see this one here has a little, I forget what that's called, little gut hook or letter opener. Serrated blade here. Got a standard edge right there. Surgical steel is really awesome. It's made, they call it surgical because you can cut with it, cut people. It's made for, surgery where it won't leave behind any metal fragments in the wound. And it's got a little file. It's got a wood saw. Works really great too. And then one of the main things that is important to me is needle nose pliers. I really can't stress enough how much and how often I use these needle nose pliers. And so that's why I carry it on me at all times. And what I also like is they come with a small pair of scissors in here that just fold out. I use little scissors all the time, and tons of other multi-tools don't have a little pair of scissors. And believe it or not, it's just extremely useful. And this Leatherman also has a little tiny screwdriver you can use for glasses and all sorts of other things. And I don't know if you can see that little tiny screwdriver right there. And this is you can change it out for other different types of screwdriver that come on the little bit set. In the other side, it comes with a can opener, which I don't know why can openers and bottle openers. I mean, a can opener I can sort of understand, but, let's be honest, we could open it with a knife, I mean, granted, that's probably a little bit safer to do with a can opener, but who is really ever using this can opener? But for the most part, what I want here is this little bit drive. And this, to me, is really important. And the Leatherman one is really nice because it's got a Phillips head on one side and a regular flat head on the other. And so I don't actually have to change bits if I'm using the two most standard type of screwdrivers. And then what's nice about this charge too is every single thing in it locks out. You have a little release here on the back. So every single thing, this is a little pry bar slash flat screwdriver, and all of this locks out. Everything on it is locking, which is a cool feature, especially if you actually want to use it for something. The last thing you want to do is slip up and cut the shit out yourself, right? And I have more bit sets. I've even ordered the extra bits, but I took out most of them, and I just carry the ones that I feel are the most frequently used. So I just carry the Phillips, all the different sizes, and the flats, all the different sizes. But I have two more cards of this, but I don't carry them. But they're actually in my old Leatherman case here, and I keep them around. And so if I wanted to, I can always put the bits on that I want the most. And but I just don't normally need to. And this little thing right here is another piece from my Leatherman tool. If I wanted to, I can take off that clip and just add this little eyelet here, so I could just wear it on a lanyard. But I prefer the clip, like I've already said, and I don't feel that I need to have it tethered to me. So that's that. Okay, moving on. Put all this away later, not take your time with it. Okay. Now, so the Leatherman has two blades on it. I hardly ever use either one of these blades. I figure maybe in a first aid situation, I would use these blades. They're better protection for first aid. But I carry two more blades. And you might be wondering, why in the hell do I carry 4 knives? Well, there's 2 on here, so that to me is only 1 knife. But why in the hell would I carry 2 knives, 1 in each pocket, on the end of each arm, in my front pocket? And I'll tell you why. To me, it's a strategy. A lot of times, you never know when you're going to need a knife. And then when you need a knife, you never know what situation you are in which you'll be needing that knife. And what I mean by that is say you're attacked by a dog and you need to defend yourself with a knife. Well, dogs are trained to attack you by biting onto your forearm. And if they bite onto your forearm, you ain't reaching into your pocket and grabbing that knife on that side. If it's your dominant arm, what are you going to do? Your weapon's on the other side, right? And you could be injured on an arm and you can't get to that pocket. I took judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and classic jiu-jitsu, and I know that one of the things that you do is we have 2 arms that attack one arm, and we dominate that one arm. So I would normally go after right hand. The 90% of the world is right-handed. So when I attack people, if they had a weapon, or not that I'd be attacking, but if I even defended myself against someone, I would go after what I would think would be their dominant arm, which most of the time is their right arm. So if I went after their dominant arm, they can't draw their weapon. If they can't draw their weapon, they can't beat me, right? And but I carry 2 different knives. One is this has a little lock here on it. It's a H&K. It's a gun maker, Heckler and Koch. And I don't remember what the model number is on this. It's 440 steel blade. It's machined aluminum handles. It's not the fastest switchblade, but it is hefty some bitch. I don't see this bitch breaking for nothing. It's just simple and sweet. I prefer Japanese style blades. The geometry creates extremely physically strong point here. If you look, the beautiful thing about a tanto blade is that they retain their thickness almost until the very point of the blade. If you look on the back here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It retains its full thickness almost to the very tip of the blade. And the geometry of this blade here makes it such that they've tested this blade in every which way you can imagine. Put it through the 55-gallon drum barrel, put it through car doors, and it's almost impossible to break the tip of a tanto blade, of a good one at least. And the physics make the geometry and the physics of it make it the strongest tip that I know of. And so I usually prefer a tanto point to almost anything else. And so, yeah, that's my H&K. I carry this one on my right-hand side. Unfortunately, this one, has a little lock. That's not the unfortunate part. I guess that's a good thing, but not if you need it quickly. My dad was a firearms instructor, and he didn't believe in safeties and stuff, and I agree with his logic in that, and that's that when you're being attacked, or if you're being attacked, they already have initiative on you. The last thing you want is to be fiddling with a fucking safety. That shit'll get you killed, yo. But unfortunately, I have to use the safety on this knife but I can, quickly pop it. I mean, there's no mystery on this safety, and that's the only good thing, I guess, about it. It's not like a safety on a gun where if you forget, it could mean the difference between you firing a bullet and you getting shot. But I always liked switchblades, but for the longest time they weren't legal, and then years ago the assisted blades became legal, and through a loophole in the law, sort of. But now basically every switchblade's legal because what's the difference? You can draw it faster, no big deal. But anyway, this knife here is about, I think it was $220. It's relatively expensive, but this is one of my all-time favorite pocket knives. Just rugged. It's got really great jimping here on the inside, because last thing you want to do, and it's got jimping here on the back of the handle and the top edge there. It flares out a little bit. The last thing you want to do if you ever need to use your blade is go to stab into something and have your hand slip up on the handle. You slice your hand all to shit. And you don't want to be doing that. So this jimping really is really grippy, man. And also, I prefer blades with a smallish handle. A lot of people like a big thick handle on a knife. I think that's a bad idea. And they like a big thick handle on a gun too. And I think that's a bad idea. And the reason being is because, like I said earlier, I took jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and judo, and the more of your hand, the more purchase you get on a wrist or something, the closer your fingers are to touching, the better your grip's going to be. The farther your fingers are apart, you see the gap in between my index and thumb there, that means the less, if my fingers could overlap, completely like that, it's going to be a way better grip than having a space in between. And that same thing applies to almost everything in this world. Swords, knives, guns, everything. So I prefer really streamlined and small handles and stuff, It's like, I want a thin handle on everything except my dick. And here's the other blade I carry in my left-hand side. And this is a little, it's a flipper. And a really, really amazing flipper. It's got a Japanese-style blade here. This is a Boker knife. I believe this is about a $120 knife. It also has a Japanese-style blade in the front here. And even though it's made by a different company, you can see how this taper and this thickness lasts almost to the very point on the back of the blade. I hope you're picking that up there. Pocket clip, of course. This one has no safeties because it's, this other one, the H&K, the reason I didn't finish, the reason I wear with this safety on is because a couple times I've had this in my pocket and the button got depressed and it opened and I didn't know, but I'd feel something like digging into my leg a little bit, and twice I've reached into my pocket to see what the fuck that was. It was my blade, like, sitting open, like, just a little bit in my pocket. It'd be like this because of the pocket constraining it. And when I reached in, my thumb went right down onto the front blade and sliced my thumb open, you know, right down the middle. Twice I did that. And it scratched the shit out of my leg. So then I started wearing it with the safety on, you know, a little bit. And, you know, that it hasn't happened since, you know, and I think eventually maybe it'll stop doing that. Eventually, maybe I'll go back to not wearing it with the safety on, but unfortunately, that's how I have to wear it in the meantime. But this Boker flipper, Japanese style blade, both these have lanyard holes, but I don't use the lanyard. I don't really want to get tangled up in this, but whereas most knives, especially for combat, I would recommend a lanyard or a D-guard. I could maybe on another video go into why that's important, but it comes from trench warfare, and in real combat they always wanted a D-guard or a way to keep it in your hand. And so this here's a Boker flipper. This VG10 steel, super strong, super sharp, super durable, super streamlined. And this knife right here, I really recommend either one of these, but this one especially because there's no mechanical anything, and it's actually got a ball bearing for swivel for the flipper part, and it is just smooth as glass. It is so nice, and it's really fun to mess around with. I mean, it's actually a quicker draw than my you know, assisted opening one that costs double the amount. And this, you can get this in carbon fiber. This one here is titanium. You can get it in almost every finish and color, and the carbon fiber one looks really sharp. You can get it with micarta handles, which is like canvas dipped in like a polymer, super strong and durable. But I really like the look of this titanium one. And before I bought this one, I bought this one here, and it's the same knife, but it has micarta handles, as you can see. And but it wasn't the flipper style. It has this little dual thumb notch thing here, and it takes a lot, you know, for me, and I got obviously short ass nails, and it's a lot harder for me to draw this one. But these micarta scales, you can see how good they look. So I actually had to buy this knife twice before I got the one that I wanted. I watched a video and he showed his flipper, and then it gave a link to it, but the link was to this knife and not the flipper knife. And so I had to buy it twice, and that kind of sucked because it was 120 bucks, and I'd have rather bought a different knife for the other 120 bucks. But I'm really happy with this flipper here, and I love how the thing that you flip, this little knob here on the back, after you flip it, it becomes the part of the guard on the front to keep you from slipping. I think this would be nice to have a little bit of jimping here, or a little bit of jimping on the back, just to keep your hand from slipping. But it's a pretty comfortable, solid grip, so I really don't feel like there's a lot of chance of that happening. But so two different styles of Japanese blade that I really love. Okay, and the very last thing is obviously my pocket pistol. Now I have many types of pocket pistol, but this one here is the DB9, and I feel like I used to carry like a big old full-size 40 cal, and I felt like that was the best thing, and but over time, the weight of it on my pants would always pull my pants down, and it was really ridiculous. So I looked into it, and I wanted a full-size bullet. I didn't want a 380. And this DB9 was the smallest gun at the time. I'm pretty sure it still is. The smallest gun with a full-size bullet. It's a full-size 9mm bullet, but it's a tiny, tiny little gun here. I carry it in this little, what is this? The Santa's pocket holster. A little bit dusty, but that's fine by me. And the really nice thing about this holster is that when you have your firearm inside of it, as you're drawing it from your pocket, this part right here catches on the inside of your pocket, And so as you're drawing it out of your pocket, it'll draw right out of the holster. It'll just come right out of the holster and it's ready to go. This gun right here is loaded. That's why you'll notice I never place my finger on the trigger. I don't need to show you that. But what I will show you is the fact that this gun right here, one of the things that keeps it so small is there are no safeties, no slide release, no anything like that. So this gun right here, no safeties. So if when you pull it, it's ready to go, which should be how I recommend anyone should carry a firearm. So like I said, this is a full size 9mm. The tiniest gun that I know of. It's got a really short barrel. I believe it's 2 inches or 2.5 inches. So you really have to, it's really not made for shooting outside of, 10, 15 feet. You're probably not going to hit anything with it if you do. But I do love it because it's just super lightweight and it fits just right in your pocket. I mean, it's smaller than my notebook that I carry. Yeah, look at, there's my notebook and there's my handgun. It's smaller than my notebook. And so that's a pretty small package. And I carry here just an extra magazine for it. Now the shots on this is 6 in the mag and 1 in the chamber, so it's 7 altogether. 6 in 1 we call that. And inside I carry a really good HydroShock ammo. It's a really good type of hollow point that expands and uses all of its energy up in a short distance to leave maximum impact into the target. And so all together, and I carry extra mags all around. I have extra mags for this all over the place. In my car, and I think I have six more mags altogether. And because like in the glove compartment, I carry a bunch of extra ones, so if shit hit the fan, I can always at least get home. So that's that. My DB9 with an extra mag, and my DeSantis holster. And that covers everything that I wear, from my necklace, my hats, everything that I can think of. If anyone have any questions, comments, let me know below. I will. I read every comment. And till next time, thank you very much for listening. Peace.